Hello fellow fishners and happy Water Change Wednesday. Today's video is an update to my video that I posted a few weeks ago during my February fish vlogs on my automatic water change system. You'll see it playing the video behind me. I'll also post a link to it right here if you want to go check that out and hear how it works or how I made it and a few more details. So tonight's video is an update to that automatic water change system. I call it version 2.0. Has an upgrade of actually being able to fill the tanks back up basically all at one time. So that's pretty exciting. A little bit of looking into the future. I have upgraded it since then. Since actually recording this video, I have upgraded it to version 3.0, which will be at this point, as far as I can see in the future, in the near future, it is the most advanced I will go with this automatic water change system that I have. So stay tuned. I'll see you on the other side of the theme song.
It's Mr. Science Geek. I hope my tanks don't leak. If it's information that you seek, be sure to tune in each week. And my videos take a peek. My singing and my jokes really read. So here we have the automatic water change system version 2.0. Make sure all the valves are open, and since the siphon's already going, the water starts flowing quite nicely. There is the tube where I start the siphon. Make sure you don't suck too hard to make sure you don't suck up any tank water. The valves are all fully open to give the best water flow. You'll see that the levels in the first two tanks are pretty similar. Third tank is and fourth tank is really slow. This is one of the frustrating parts about version 2.0 is how slow the fourth tank is. So it's just a waiting game and see if any of the tanks catch up and check on the flow still. I am very happy with how quickly this version flows. Move the electrical out of the way. Water and electricity don't mix. Gotta be careful with that. Tanks 1 and 2 are great. Tank 3 is kind of okay, and Tank 4 once again is slow. And so to compensate, you slow down the other tanks, turn down their flow, turn on tanks 1 and 2 quite a bit, and then slow down tank 3 just a little bit. Doesn't really impact the water flow very much, as you can see in the sink. Tanks 1 and 2 very similar. Tank 3 catching up. Turn down tank 2 and 1 just a little bit to get them to catch up with tank 3 over time, and tank 4, as you see, is still way behind. It's really frustrating. It is actually draining. That is one thing about the system is you don't know if one tank is draining or not, or if it lost its siphon. So give it some more time to try to get the other tanks to catch up and see. Tanks 1, 2, and 3 are very similar amounts. Tank 4 is finally at a noticeable amount. Slow down tank 3, 2, and 1 to give tank 4 time to catch up so that they don't break the siphon. Because the problem with this system is that once one siphon breaks, it messes up the entire system. An improved version would be if the tanks were independent from one another and one did not have an impact on the whole. So here we are just giving it some more time, giving tank 4 time to try to catch up and checking on the water levels. And tank 4 is finally starting to show some progress here, but like I said before, not as noticeable as tanks 1, 2, and 3. But yeah, so it is catching up. So at this point, I'm happy with how much tanks 1, 2, and 3 have drained, so I turn them off, leaving tank 4 to be the only one that is draining. Don't worry, the fish. There is a sponge and all the intakes to prevent this fish and the fry from being sucked up. So now we're just waiting, going to give time for tank 4 to finally drain close enough to even with the other 3 tanks. Although, spoiler alert, I don't let it get all the way there. So here we are just watching. It feels like we're waiting for paint to dry. And then some time has passed. I'm finally happy with how much tank 4 has drained. So I turn it off to get ready to add water back into the tanks using the upgraded version 2.0. Turn off the valve right here to get ready to add water in the system. So here is the tube that comes from the sink to go on the siphon starter tube to get ready to go back into them. They're all off to make sure they aren't draining out anymore. That tank is that valve is closed for right now. So it's finally ready to start adding water. Make sure this valve's open. Very important. Learn that the hard way. Make sure that's open because if not, it gets water everywhere. It explodes because of the water pressure. So you put that tube, which runs from the sink to the siphon starter. Put an end cap on the end, obviously, so the water doesn't drain down the sink. And then the water flows in. Turn the water on. And then open up the valves before you turn the water on. Also, another important part, if not, you get too much pressure and the caps pop off and you get a mess everywhere. Turn the water on slowly at first. I have to put a container underneath to catch the dripping. It's not a perfect seal because I didn't have the exact size drill bit. You see the water is flowing in. The fish do enjoy it. By the way, that's a new strain there. I'll reveal them in a later video, so stay tuned for that. Be sure to turn on notifications to be alerted when I do reveal what strain those are. You see the water is flowing. The new water is coming in. Cold water through convection causing it to sink towards the bottom. You see convection happen right there. Really exciting science stuff. Turn the water flow up because we don't have all day, folks, right? But slowly, because like I said, there's also a little bit of leak in the sink area as well, but keep that contained with the drip loop on the tubing. Monitor the flow of all of the um, tanks, and this is the main thing I don't like about the system is you have to monitor it nonstop. You can't just set it and walk away for a few minutes. I do use safe when I'm adding just the smallest pinch. I'll show you that later to dechlorinate the water. That's how I'm getting away with adding it directly from the sink. And like I said, it's a waiting process. I can't just walk away and set it and forget it and let it just happen. So that that was going quite a bit faster than the others, so I slow it down. Uh, those are going fine. I think I'll turn down. They're starting to rise up. I'm trying to give myself some cues when I did the voiceover. Slow that one down. I don't know why. Oh, obviously. So tank 4 now is going one of the faster ones. So slow that one down. Tank 2 is the slowest one for filling back up. So it's like the reason my plan was to be able to put this in the back of the tank, have the valve set at what rate they drain best, and therefore, in theory, refill the best. Here I'm adding a safe, just the smallest pinch to each 10-gallon. Not an exact measurement, but it's the best I can do, and um, it so far it works. Anyways, the plan was to put this system on the back of the tanks, setting the valves where they would flow uh, the best to drain and to refill the tanks. But the problem is that it seems like for the most part it changes every time, and it's different rate for draining and for refilling. So I have to constantly come back and monitor it and adjust the valve so that one does not overflow and One does not break the siphon. So it does speed up the process of my water exchange system, which previously was just a siphon hose with a hand pump on it to pump the water out from each individual tank, which took way too long. It took time after school, which made it so that I couldn't get things ready for the next day. I had to leave to go pick up the kid from the babysitter. So this at least did serve the purpose of saving time. Turn the water flow down from the sink because once you start turning the valves off, the flow in the other remaining open valves is crazy fast. So that one's off. So now I think this is the last one that's on. You see how fast the water's coming out now. Um, I think I might turn the water flow down a little bit more from the sink just to keep it from going crazy. Anyways, stay tuned for version 3.0. It's coming next week. I'm really happy with how it's working so far. I think it probably will be the last of the way that I do this. Turn the valve off once the water is off. You drain it by taking the tubes off that way. Stay tuned, stay fish people.